entertainment for us this morning. Of course, I was supposed to do this as a video, but I think I'll need more time to explore, maybe mix this with more things. So guys, it's morning, afternoon, evening, depending on our time zone. Welcome to Edutainment for us another day. This is 7th of January 2026. So guys, a lot is popping in the house, and of course, as we start our duties here and there is more in the house. So guys, a short video just to alert ourselves on what is going to happen. Maybe you'll get time to explore more, no worries. Maybe I'll have to do a kind of video on this explorative because I was unable to start earlier and there is some other events ahead of us. Yeah, so of course, Rocio had to communicate after she landed in Argentina. Guys, before that, I was very skeptical about the aspect that people are saying she's gone. But then I'm beginning to think on my analysis today, and I'm like, why is this lady insinuating things to do with healing, things to do with her family helping her heal, things to do with the transition she has decided to take, and, things to do with I'll be here for a long time, and even preparations of her B&B. Guys, most times people stay in these homes or rather marriages and they stand a lot. The little that comes up in public is just the earthquake when it has erupted. But we have a lot of small earthquakes that happen daily in houses and people just keep quiet about it because you can't make a storm over everything. So I'm just imagining, looking at that scenario where Marwa actually had to beat Rocio and she had to run to Nairobi. Stream last year, and of course we talked about it a lot. Marwa had to follow Rocio after a lot of pressing from the subscribers, and he went to Nairobi, and after that we saw them coming back to the villa, never talking about the issue, but of course we knew what is in the air. Guys, of course life is private, but when you are a public person, nothing is private anymore. The private aspect will be very few. The rest becomes public. And therefore, when we talk about these things, people are like, why are you talking about it? That is personal. You are hateful and all that. Wayne Spore, welcome. Thank you so much. I'm doing this reaction from an external environment, not very good, just because the internal environment cannot allow me to do it. It's a public office anyways. So Wayne Spore, welcome. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. And because this is work, this is part of my work, a hustle, right? And of course, if it picks up, it can become the main job, right? Yeah. So guys, after Rocio landed in Argentina, if you've not watched her video, there is a lot that she has revealed. And of course, people will be coming up to deny. I don't know why people are so much into, we call it denial. Denial is a common practice that we encounter. When things can't work, we say they can work. Yeah, of course, people have differences in families, and some of them decide to heal and actually reconsider a reconciliation, sit together, nurse the wounds, and do better than how they did, whether it is on biological, chemistry matters, or physical. But then, if somebody is not changing, what about that? Okay, some people might say that Rocio came about when she doesn't have nothing. So what? Women, we were born to actually go to men when we have nothing, but then come out with something. That is why we come out with kids, we come out with maybe some portion of land, we come up with clothes and whatever. So some people are actually talking about Rocio going with only the shorts and top and then living with suitcases. Of course. Why are we called flowers? We are called flowers because in human situation, we are flowers because when you go somewhere, we need to be dressed, tended and taken care of. And in our capacity, therefore, the taking care of here is about financial. It can be the clothing and all that. Okay, forgive me if you think I'm really burdening you, but that is the reality. That is the reality. And in the normal typical relationships, when you get to date a woman, of course, they'll be asking you for a date. You take them out, they need some popping of some champagne, they'll need some clothes, some shoes. We are flowers, guys, as I'm saying. All right, whatever, no matter the age, be sure if you really are dating a woman and they are taking care of you, then they are, I don't know, I might say maybe they are desperate or something, but in reality the opposite happens. Now let's get to see some receipts from the end of Rocio, and we see about it. And do I blame her? I don't blame her, because again, personally, I look at Marwa. Of course, there is money there, there is all that there, there is free life there. Maybe she's growing her channel. But now, there are things that I just look at, like investment aspect. Marwa is not very much into investment. Because tell me, if that was somebody else, whether it's from Kisii or Mount Kenya, I'm pointing those two because I know those two, they really work hard in terms of investing and in terms of plowing back money. But when you look at Marwa, he's a neighbor to the Kisis, by the way. But I don't know why he all puts his money in things that cannot add up. And if you are a serious woman like I know Rocio is, by the way, Rocio is very much focused. You remember she was trying to discourage him one day about the horses, the breeding aspect. But Marwa, the way he is, with his ego, even on camera, he would still insist that the horses should breed as they do. So her ideas are not important in the villa. Sometimes when they go to purchase even the, let's say the beds, a woman should be choosing, right? He pretends on camera that he's letting her choose, but at the end of it, he says, this is the best. You remember the other day, Rocio in the villa actually complained about the fact that even though he came when Marwa is already building the house, but when when she tries to give ideas, most of the ideas that actually are emerging in that villa, it is Marwa's, not hers, because people are blaming her. You know, sometimes I don't know why the society blames a woman so much for the faults in a family or problems that are encountered by a man you are married to. They forget that you are two different people, and if one of them is working opposite with you, it's like pulling the rope. If you are pulling the rope, how do you go the same route? You can't. Okay? So I don't blame Rocio for whatever decision. If at all she's gone, I don't blame her. Of course, Maro is one person who insists on camera to want 10 kids and 10 baby mamas. He doesn't talk about baby mamas, but he talks of 10 kids. Personally, I have 2 kids, and if I can add any other, maybe it was only the 3rd child. If my man insists on having more than those kids, then let him go and find it elsewhere, or let him call quits. Then if I get another relationship, then what I'll do is only bear 1 kid, and that's enough. Because I think even when you look at current life, whether you have a lot of money or not, bearing those many kids, when I look at my mother, for example, she bore around 10 of us, and her health is not very good. When you relate to checking, most of the problems came as a result of that birthing, family planning, and all those matters. And again, we as kids never got the very best education, maybe in the very best schools, the very best conditions that I would have wished for. Therefore, I don't want the history to repeat itself. So if the man maybe feels like he can take care of that, and he can comfortably actually, because it's the role of a man to pay fees, for example, I can assist in many other things. But when it comes to payment of fees and rent, for example, and even building a home house, I believe it's a man. For me, I can build other houses, rent or what have you. But typically in the traditional setting, a man should do what I've mentioned. So I've been analyzing critically the situations of Rocio. The few that have come to camera, if those are the ones that have come to camera, I don't blame her. Actually, even in terms of taking care of himself, he himself as a person, Marwa, he gets a lot of money, but look at him. I can't even stand him. The guy who even wipes his nose with his hand, he goes about with one sweater for like I don't know how long. He's ready to go to the river and bathe from there. He's not shaped up. He can hold his hand in a toilet. Come on, like check on that. Look at the kitchen. How much money does it need for Marwa to change that kitchen? You know, like Rocio is somebody who is reserved, doesn't want a lot of people around Marwa, even though he grew through YouTube and what have you. But sometimes once you get to be married to someone and you are two, you need to actually reschedule some things. But Marwa is not out to change at all, at all. So I don't blame her. If at all she decided to rescue herself through her family, well and good. Of course, she's a brand on her own currently. Even if we go back to history and talk about Mexico and being the street walker, it cannot be forever. Life changes. People transition. Even the Bible, Joshua's wife changed. So what? Okay, now let's get to see why I'm talking the way I'm doing.
Stir in every corner. Back to a new video. Here I am with the family, my mom. Hola, buen día. Romina. Papá, ¿y tu gorrita? ¿Dónde pusiste la gorrita? ¿Cómo? Se la puse en el short. Ah. She's not wearing the hat today. Laura is over there taking pictures. Fellow devs, bad prompts lead to AI slop. You're prompting Cursor over 100 times a day.
Now just a while we'll be picking some receipt there. My video will just go into 20 or 30 minutes, not more than that.
My beautiful Mar del Plata. I can see the ocean from here. Let me zoom it for you. We finally landed. There's some noise from the city. The buses. It's summer over here, but my cities are a little bit particular when it comes to the weather. One day can be 34 degrees, the next day can be 10, and in the middle of the summer you have to be wearing jackets and a lot of things, and maybe a few hours later you can be sweating, so that's something particular. We landed in Argentina. I took some days to finish this video. Actually, I rested, we really needed to sleep, we slept a lot, and I'm staying at my sister's. I didn't come back home to my little home. I will be staying in Argentina for some time, but that apartment was closed all the time that my parents were out in Kenya, so they wanted it to reopen first, to have some fresh air.
Alright guys, you had that Euromilik. You're asking who is this? I don't know if you're asking about me or whoever I'm watching, because I'm watching Rocio, and on the other end it is edutainment for us. Please see my name. So guys, if you listen to Rocio, she's actually saying she's in Argentina. She's staying with her sister as the father and mother go ahead to plan on things. You know, when you go back home, remember your room maybe was busy with some, this is a YouTube, of course. She is a YouTuber, a traveler, a wife to a traveler, and currently she actually followed her parents to go back to Argentina. And so a lot of stories coming up. So my analysis, of course, as reaction, you know that, is loaded. So guys, from Rocio's message, what do you get when she talks about the fact that she's resting at her sister's place, Romina, she's liking the environment and everything? Guys, by the way, you compare that environment with Nyabohanse. Sometimes, even though we may not have constructed our houses, but just the environment around. For example, in Kenya, the rural and city. Sometimes once you get used to the cities and the towns, you just hate the village. Sometimes village has a lot of boredom, of course, and Marwa knows that. So, of course, when he was cheating on his video, that Rocio just asked to go home because she misses home. Of course, I can miss home and decide, let's do it quick because I miss the town setting. Marwa is not yet ready to go build a home in a city. And he has the ability to do that. I wonder why this man is so much focused on the village. Yeah, village life can be cheap, but so boring. Why would I stay a cheap life, very boring for so many years, when I'm not living here forever. You would actually try to compromise for the better of your family. And if you chose a town girl, don't make her stay in the village forever. If you have to do maybe the consistent meetings, the better. Anyway, let's get to another part where this lady spoke about healing. I hope I'll get it soon. And the fact that she's going to stay here for some time. Remember, when she talks about some time, how long is this? And at first, we thought that she's going home. The parents were here for 90 days. Of course, for me, I was surprised when I saw suddenly, before Christmas was totally over, the parents packing and heading to Argentina. And of course, as Marwa tries to convince us that they are going to be back, if she will be back, I'll be surprised anyways. But why would someone unload or offload everything from the shelves? Whenever I travel to my parents or any other place, I don't download everything from my house. If I download everything, it means I'm not I'm going forever. I'm not going back. We leave things behind because we'll go back. Even if you are just dating a boyfriend, you leave some clothes, some pants, some hey, what am I saying? Yeah, some clothes around because you'll go back. But if you're not going back, you go back with everything. Anyway, let's go back and listen to her again.
Maisha, so I slept at my sister's, and here we are. The journey from the airport to here in the bus was a little bit emotional for me. I had a lot of mixed emotions, but I know I will be fine. Once again, I will be staying some time here in Argentina. There are some projects that I want to give life to it, so I really needed to be here as well. So yes, I wanted to finish this video so I can start a new one, and wish you, all of you, a happy new year, a prosperous new year, a blessed new year.
Rocio is quite clever. She's not going to drop every message in this video, or she may just avoid it as well. Remember when she ran from the village after the fight with Marwa? She never actually shared everything. Ebube, come, welcome. I remember you used to watch me over November before December was busy with me. Thank you so much from Nigeria. Thank you. So she's not a person who shares everything. She holds on some information she doesn't want to share and shares only what she wants. But why did she have to share this? And in the entire video, she never mentioned anything to do with Marwa or Nyabohanse. Guys, you realize this is intentional, okay? This is intentional because she's moving on. She said that there are a lot of projects she has to do here. And by the time she was buying land in Nyabohanse, you remember a lot of reactors said that that land cannot be hers because she's not a native. She doesn't have paperwork. If I realize that all that I'm buying in somebody's country, if I'm married to a person from a different country, is written in their name, I wouldn't trust that I'm investing totally. That's reality. Even for you who has not invested and you're quoting maybe somebody from a different country, you don't have paperwork. You can't have projects written in your name. There is no need. And of course, I remember many people came about to remind Rocio, even the land she was actually given as a gift by Condat, that was just a jilt, a kind of lie. The reality is that those pieces of land will be written in the name of Marwa, and therefore they'll be Marwa's. And you realize that land was bought very close to Marwa. Yeah, we are married sometimes to people and we cheat ourselves that we are one. But the reality be said, we are always two. We are married, yes, and we bond as one, but we are two. How many women or how many men have been jilted over property? My property should just be my property, my husband's. If we partner, then if I've spent a lot, we have to come to an agreement about the how we will plow out our profits, and that is what I've just learned as a person. So possibly when I look at Rocio, she's not foolish. She's very clever, and she was even resistant about starting a project in Nyabohanse, whether the land that she bought recently or that which was at Nyabohansen. Maybe she was just doing so because it was intentional. She knew those lands will not belong to her no matter what. So while back in in Argentina, you can see the first thing she's talking about is investment. And I really respect that. Cheers to you, Rocio. Go and invest, because if that is your land, and you will never become fully Kenyan. Of course, even if Marwa decides today to wed her, she is not going to be permanently just Kenyan. She will have dual citizenship. She will still be a Kenyan and an Argentinian. So with those two ends, she can invest in both countries. But for current time, before she does so, she must ensure there is paperwork, but there is none. So we can't blame her. Those of you who are saying that she is a parasite, she stole and went. What did she steal? Yeah? If you look at Marwa was actually picking and dropping girls like hot potato. And therefore, I think karma is just right for him. If someone is doing that, then it's just right that he just gets his equal. Okay? And why did he not shape up after marrying Rocio? Because Rocio transformed a little bit. You can't compare the Rocio that came from Mexico to Rocio that is going back to Argentina. But anyway, let's again listen more, because she said it was an emotional journey from the airport to the house and all. And I'm just imagining, because we've gone through these experiences, some of us who are already married to men, and at some point you get emotional, you're like, I should move on, I should just get away and get a right person maybe, and because expectations are not being attained as planned. But anyway, let's listen again.
A lot of love, a lot of that, or what you need also, that you may open your heart to receive it, and also appreciate everyone who has been there supporting me as a person in all my journey as well. I don't take it for granted, and I value it a lot. So a new chapter for me is coming right now. Has a new beginning. The mixed emotions are there. The fear, but the excitement, the doubt, but the hope also at the same time. They are all there, living together. But just making room in my heart to heal and to receive the best that I deserve as well.
Guys, you got that? She wants to receive the best that she deserves. So guys out there, when you marry a woman, don't try to impose yourself on them, and actually you should shape up. If you have money, that money should be seen, even in how you dress up, how you present yourself as a man, how you treat your woman. But most times, I don't know why actually men want to make women turn into something else. Like they want to shape you up. They want to force you to be like their mother or something else, or their sister, which is impossible, because each one of us has different dreams. If I'm someone who likes life that is fancy, traveling, maybe dancing a little bit, drinking a little bit, not too much, why should you not give me that chance? You know, why would you want me to actually be that woman who is dressing long dresses? Maybe you want me to sit and serve you as you sit as a king. You want me to be that person who is submissive, just listening to you. You want me to be that woman who will and age ungracefully. That is not what I want, okay? So Rocio seems to be reached a place whereby now she wants to open a new chapter. Did you hear that? She said she wants to open a new chapter. She has hope. There are doubts and fear, but she will have to pick it up. Congratulations, because it's not many people make this decision, especially when in the limelight. People try to hide a lot and they pretend that everything is just fine. But remember, Rocio has never been quiet about it. There is a day she came up and said that even her life is not all sweet. There are a lot of challenges, there are ups and downs, and she tries as much as possible to just fit in. Sometimes she doesn't have to talk about everything, but she has to be herself. And a lot of people are unfair to her, actually. Most times they could attack her and say she is talking rudely to Marwa, as if just be whispering to a man, you must be looking away when addressing them. Personally, I don't acknowledge those kind of behaviors. I acknowledge the point whereby you be you. Personally, I've had crosses with a lot of people because people don't like people who are assertive, just facing them and telling them what it is, being truthful, telling them their mind. Most people don't like that. They want you to pretend, to be hypocritical, to coil around, to sweeten words even when you can't do so. And unfortunately, Rocio has actually been such a kind of person, and I think she has realized that she can't just cope up with Marwa. She can't. From her message, it's quite clear. Even if she's not telling us 1, 2, 3, you positive reactors, come up and tell us. Tell us what you think this message is all about. Why is she talking about this after arriving in Argentina? And remember, her healing process started when her family traveled. She was so excited. She was saying she has been lonely. She has not been having people to talk to. And all through when her family was around, she was so excited, happy, sharing a lot of good moments. Now the food changed. Marwa still complained about it. How about if they went to a bedroom and Marwa still reminded her of it? How about if the parents saw some mistreatment of their daughter? How about, there are so many questions we are raising, and of course we'll come to learn about them, or if Rocio decides not to talk about them, it will be it. But Marwa actually recently was talking about Ogutu, and the fact that he found a wife, and that wife, I don't know, was kind of a wife who thought that Ogutu had a lot of money, and when he noticed that he doesn't have, she went away. And I was like, somebody posted a question to ask, what about your family? Where is Rocio? And Marwa was quite annoyed, irritated. Why would he be irritated if there is nothing he knows? If he knows nothing about this, maybe in the bedroom, even before they left, Rocio said that I need time to think away from you. Sometimes we need that time away from our partner so that if they want to value us, let them. If they don't want to, we can find others. Of course, that is life. When I say like that, some people get annoyed. I don't know. Anyway, let me check more.
So here we are. I wasn't expecting to be back so soon in Argentina.
Can you imagine? She says that.
But it's also nice to be home. I just noticed that I haven't lived in Argentina permanently for over 6 years, and that is a lot of time. It's half.
Can you imagine? She says she has noticed she has not been permanently in Argentina for 6 years now, and she has noticed she has been away. What is she trying to insinuate? Possibly that now she has come back and she'll be here permanently. Anyway, let's proceed.
Decade, my life has changed. I have a new best friend, a new company. I'm not alone here, so it means a lot. New challenges.
Yeah, my life has changed. I have got a new friend. I have a company. So there's a company possibly which has picked her as an ambassador. So she's saying that at least she has come back as a different person who is going to work with companies, and therefore things has changed around her. She's not who she was when she was there. So she thanks God that at least she has something she came back with.
As well, and yeah, I really hope for the best. I did make this decision with a lot of prayers, with a lot of connection with God, and I feel and I felt guided to do this. So yeah, that's it for today's video.
All right, so she says she made this decision because she was guided, maybe by her family, and she also had a connection with God, whichever way, before she decided what she decided. So guys, a new year, new goals. Of course, we'll come back to this matter. It's not our end because I just rushed to make a 30 minutes video. And of course, there is a video live stream that Marwa did. And in that video, I just wanted to play that part where somebody asked a question and he was so annoyed.
You can tell, you see, I sent there. My God. Somebody can type that town if you know, if you are from if you're a Swahili speaker.
Where is this question?
Anyway, guys, another big donation. How old is your uncle? I need to ask him. Two people I've seen on social media that they used to abuse people and say things that are not true. But just wait, one day we will hit below the belt. Yeah, below the belt. They will wake up and find Mukombe on the table. I'm telling you. Thank you so much, will change. To meet your standards.
Alright guys, so I just come to an end, but when you look even at yesterday's video that was very emotional from Marwa, possibly he's projecting his emotions on other people, something like that. But guys, it seems from the current message, Rocio is gone. Anyway, let's wait and see what will happen. But by today, I think I was not fully convinced that she is gone, but I feel so. From her message and from the way she's actually trying so much to hold before she speaks, something is wrong, totally wrong. But anyway, let's wait because of course we'll get to see more than just this. Bye bye for now. Let's get to meet later on in other videos.